You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
To the reason why she sold the gun, because she also had to she was trying to also I guess trying to meet payments on the Cadillac Escalade, just all kind of crazy stuff. She was just really down on her luck. But anyway, that's beside the point. After they made that transaction and she got the gun from Adrian, she texted Steve that same night and told him she would meet with him at his condo after she got off from work. So of course Steve, being the man that he was, he had pretty much got complacent, not really thinking that anything major would become of this. So he didn't pay attention to the red flags. He probably thought, she was just a young woman acting out, acting crazy. He probably like a lot of these married men, he most likely underestimated his opponent. Not to mention, the man is a millionaire. He's wealthy, so he probably felt powerful and invincible. Like nothing was going to happen. Nothing was going to become of this. So nevertheless, he agreed for her, to meet him that night at the condo. So the next day, Steve's friend, who also is partial owner of the condo, the bachelor's pad, the side chick smash shack, Steve friend Wayne kept calling Steve's phone and didn't get an answer, which was very unusual. So this was a red alert to Wayne. So he actually went to the condo. That was when he found Steve deceased from multiple gunshot wounds. Twice in the head and twice in his body. And Jenny had one gunshot in her head. So it was a suicide homicide. All in one. After investigation was completed, police concluded that Jenny acted out in a rage due to being overwhelmed with debt with bills. After that recent incident with the DUI, finding out about his affair with the other woman. So that was basically the conclusion, that they felt that Jenny unalived Steve and unalived herself due to the fact that things between her and Steve just kept going downhill. And Steve just basically kept manipulating her, dogging her, giving her false hopes. And reality had finally set in with her that, you know what, this man is playing me. He's lying to me. He's been lying to me all this time. He does not want to be with me. He has no plans in us being together. So the only way I can gather it is that night, because this is what it sounds like to me. I'm just doing my hypothetical analyzation. When she came to the condo and Steve came there, 9 times out of 10, I'm certain she confronted him about all of the things that he was doing to her. And most likely, she really emphasized the side chick that he was seeing. There's no telling what she said to Steve, but I'm quite sure for her to get provoked to take it to the level she took it to, either when she addressed it, Steve either one, he kept lying again, making her think she was crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not seeing nobody, because you have these married men that will do that. They will try to make you believe that you are crazy. Something is wrong with you. So he probably was telling her, you crazy, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not seeing this woman. I'm not dealing with her, which pissed her off. Or 2, he did admit and say, yes, I am seeing her. I'm not going to stop seeing her. Either you're going to roll with it or roll out. He probably took the arrogant approach, the cocky, egotistical. Yes, I'm doing me. Either you're going to roll with it or you could roll out. All 3, he was just nonchalant. Man, I'm tired, man. I had a long day. I just want to rest. I don't want to talk about this. You know how these men do. I don't want to talk about this. I'm tired, and I had a long day. I got to get up in the morning. I got to go check on my restaurant. He totally gaslighted and deflected. Either approach, I'm sure pissed off. And what happened was, while he was laying there sleeping peacefully, and only women who have been there could attest to this. When a man has truly violated you and disrespected you, and he can sleep peacefully while you are still in a rage, all my real women have been there. When a man has violated you, lying to you, playing games with you at some form or another, even I have been there. And you see him peacefully sleeping. He's not even worried about the damage he's done to you. He's the least bit of concern. He can go to sleep peacefully knowing no matter what he does to you, you're going to still be right there. And in the meantime, you're hurting, you're distraught, you're in pain, and if you don't know God, or if your self-esteem is that shattered, you'll be sitting there and letting it eat you alive, like this son of a gun, this son of a biscuit is laying here sleeping. Probably sleeping so well because he busted a few nuts from where he just came from. Disregarding my feelings, disrespecting me. All of these thoughts was probably ricocheting in her mind like a carousel. So she picked up that gun and said, you know what? Her philosophy could have been, if I'm going to be in pain, he's going to be in pain. I'm not going to leave here and unalive myself while he still gets to ride off into the sunset, be with other women, go back to his wife or whatever, while I'm gone. He's gonna move on. So it's best for me to take him with me. If I can't move on, I don't want him moving on either. Or it could have been, since you hurt me, I'ma hurt you too. I want you to see how I feel. She had become so infatuated with this man. She couldn't let him go mentally, physically. So she was not gonna let him go without her, even in the afterlife. You will be surprised how psychologically damaged some of these side chicks are. In her mind, and again, it's not supposed to make sense to y'all. She may look at it, we can't be together on this earth. Maybe the only way we can be together is in the afterlife. Who's to say she wasn't thinking like that? In her mind, we're going to be together one way or the other, whether you want us to be or not. Steve Mcnair, like a lot of these married men, like Martell, like Keith Hunter, Kevin Hunter, and all of them, they have shown over and over again they are very arrogant and very egotistical, and in their mind they underestimate women. They think women are not that smart. He picked a 20-year-old young woman who still wasn't all the way emotionally developed. She's still transitioning into womanhood, even though she's an adult and she's old enough to know better, but she was still a young woman. So after the investigation was completed, police concluded that Jenny acted out in a rage due to the bills and the DUIs and just everything that transpired between her and Steve. No one wanted to believe it at first, due to various reasons. Some tried to say that him and his friend Wayne was on bad terms, with their friendship. So they tried to insinuate Wayne had something to do with it. Then they tried to insinuate that it was probably a burglary or something like that, or a little robbery or something, because Steve Mcnair had a tendency of keeping knots of money on him. He would keep a band of like hundreds on him, and they found $7 in his pocket. So a lot of people was like, nah, somebody must have killed him and took the money off of him, because that's not Steve. Steve ain't no walk around with $7 type of guy. But needless to say, that had nothing to do with it. Also, the other assumption that was drawn was that because when they when his friend Wayne came in and found him deceased, he didn't call the police right away. Wayne ended up calling 3 other people. I think he ended up calling another friend and another friend. I think he ended up calling 2 friends versus calling the police right away. In my opinion, I don't think he have called the friends, because he had something to do with it, or he was trying to hide something. I think the fact that when he came to that condo and saw Steve unalived and his side chick unalived, I think he was worried about people finding out that Steve was caught deceased with the woman he had been messing around in his marriage with. I think personally that's what it was. Like, he probably was calling his friends like, man, what we gonna do? Steve and his side chick, I found both of them. What should I do? How should I go about, I think that was his reaction. I think he was worried about it getting out that Steve Mcnair was found unalived with his side chick. And being that they have this bro code, that's his man's, that is homeboy, whatever, Ace Boon Coon, he probably freaked out like, damn, how am I, how should I approach this? That's what I think. Everybody was trying to come up with all of these different assumptions. They even tried to say Jenny's ex-boyfriend had something to do with it, because everybody was like, listen, whoever unalived them, they gunshot skills was too perfect, was too exceptionally good, and they didn't feel like Jenny was capable of being able to unalive him that well, that it takes special skills to unalive him in the manner in which he was unalive. But listen, when you are a woman in rage and you are determined to make somebody feel the pain that you felt, you will find the strength to be able to succeed at conquering the person who hurt you. And I just think Jenny was in such a rage. You got to remember, she was in close proximity. Ain't like she did it sniper style, like she was at another building or something. They was in close proximity together. The man was laying there sleeping. So if a person is laying there sleeping, they're nowhere in the midst of defending themselves. They are in one position, because when you are sleeping, you are in one position. And not only that, you're totally vulnerable. You can't move, you can't get up. It's easy for anybody to perfectly aim their shot and succeed, because you're just not capable of defending yourself. She was in close proximity, so she purchased the gun. She had it with her. No other items were stolen out of his household, out of that condo. So yes, she unalived that man out of anger, out of hostility. And the story continues to keep unfolding. So you could imagine the pain her family, her friends going through. And the whole Tennessee was crushed. And not only that, a lot of people was really shocked, because Steve Mcnair was married. How about nobody in his family knew nothing about this chick? Knew nothing about Jenny. No one ever heard of her. So this caused a lot of hurt. Could you imagine how his mother felt? You know, and your son out there messing around with his wife. You know, your daughter-in-law. You see what your grandkids got to go through. The way Steve Mcnair left here was very ugly. And it was so, the part that was so hurtful is that it could have been avoided had he never gotten involved. And not only that, he was not only cheating on his wife with Jenny, he was cheating on Jenny with Leah. When you play these type of games, it can end in a very devastating and tragic manner. And with all due respect, no disrespect to Steve Mcnair, but he signed up for that. Being cocky, getting beside himself. I'm Mr. Big Man. I'm Mr. Tennessee Titan. He was smelling himself. A lot of these married men smell themselves with these side chicks. And ain't no telling what his poor wife was going through that led up to that, you know, because when these men start stepping out on you, they get real disrespectful. They start talking to you all kind of way. We seen what Melody went through with Martell. When he started seeing Ariane getting real biggity and cocky, you not satisfying me, you ain't doing enough to please me and all. Ain't no telling what Steve said or did. But unfortunately, he got back his karma in the worst way. And y'all can say I'm being harsh, or that's not nice, that's not cool. But listen, we don't get to choose the consequences. We do not get to choose. You can tell yourself, I'm a grown ass man, I'm a grown ass woman, I'm gonna do what the fuck I wanna do. I don't give a damn who feels some type of way. You can do what you want to do, but you don't get to choose the consequences. And that's the part you got to be, that's the reality you got to be prepared to deal with. You will not get to choose the outcome. In this case, I'm sure had Steve Mcnair knew what he was up against, he would have not tried that young girl in the manner he did. He would have stayed home with his wife, tried to work things out, seeing all of what he was going to lose. Because it was not worth what he lost. This man was a legend. He was a phenomenal player. He had his whole world going for him. He took care of his mama, had his family, financially well off. The community loved him, respected him. But all over some booty. Booty has become the demise of many men. A lot of men, listen, a lot of men are either in the grave or either in prison over a woman. It's that gorilla ego beating on your chest. I I'm the man, I should have whatever I want. I'm a millionaire, I should have whatever I want. Whatever I want, I should be able to get. And when I don't want it no more, I have the right to get rid of it and discard of it. No, sir, you don't. And Jenny was born and raised in poverty. So he took on a young woman who already was struggling. She was a waitress at Dave & Buster's. Okay? So you can't lavish a woman with those type of trinkets and lifestyle and security and then you pull it away from her. It don't work that way. If he was smart, what he possibly could have did, and it probably wouldn't have changed anything, paid that Cadillac Escalade off, get her a home or something where you could buy it in cash, and let her know, look, this is it. This is all I'm doing for you. You're on your own. I really, if you're going to leave a situation, at least make sure a person's straight. Now, if it was going to change her mindset, that I really can't tell you. But you don't leave a woman broken and broke. You got to pick a struggle, bro. You can't.